On today's video, I want to address a myth about putting line on a spinning reel. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. And I know a lot of you guys realize that the best way to put line on a spinning reel is to have the spools face to face, right? This spool facing the spool of your spinning reel. Not like this, not with the pencil through it and then wind it off like this and have it spinning around. That's not really the correct way to do it. The spools are supposed to be face to face. That is actually the correct way to do it. And I did a video on that. If you go to my channel, go to Knetter's Practical Outdoors, and the video is called Putting Line on a Spinning Reel. And I get into a lot more detail, about why and how and everything to put this line on the spinning reel. Now, the real trick of it is, though, that the line has to come off of this spool the same way it goes onto this spool, okay? And this is where the myth comes in. Because kind of the myth, kind of what I've seen in some comments, what I'm seeing on from some other people, is that the manufacturers, again, this is the myth, that the manufacturers spool onto these filler spools, so if you just set this down flat with the label up, it automatically will go onto your reel correctly. It'll be coming off of there the right direction. But that's just not true, okay? And there's a couple reasons why it's not true. First of all, the manufacturers are not uniform with that. They do not spool line on these filler spools the same direction. Here's some Trilene, okay? Here's some Trilene XL. As you can see, the line is coming off of this. From your vantage point, it's coming off clockwise, right? Okay. If you go to this spool, Trilene XL, and you start taking it off, and this is coming off from your vantage point counterclockwise, okay? So anyways, whoever thought that the manufacturers put these on a certain direction so they go on to reels correctly, it wasn't Trilene, okay? And you know what else? It wasn't Stren either. Take this spool of Stren, and here we go. It comes off the spool counterclockwise, right? Okay. We go to this spool of Stren. Well, and this line comes off the spool, with the label up. It comes off the spool clockwise. So Stren wasn't on board with that either, all right? Now, maybe at some point a certain manufacturer tried doing it for a year. Maybe they put some nomenclature in with their line that said, hey, label up and put it on your spinning reel and it'll go on correctly. Maybe that was done. I don't know that. Maybe that's where this myth started. Because, if you do look at your reels, probably 99.9% of the reels you have, probably 100% of the reels you have, if you crank them, you can see that this bail spins clockwise. From your vantage point, this bail spins clockwise, okay? So I guess a manufacturer could look at that and say, okay, that reel spins, this direction. We're going to spool our spools up, to match that. Because this one, same thing. From your vantage point, that's clockwise, right? Here's another one. From your vantage point, it is spinning clockwise, right? And I'll tell you, probably all the reels that you own, they do spin this direction. Here's another one. And it spins from your vantage point, it is spinning clockwise. This is an eagle claw. This one's a Fluger. Here's a Shimano. This one's a Daiwa. So you might think, well, yeah, I think that one manufacturer, they did spool these spools up a certain way, so when it came off of here, it would match that direction, because that's the direction that like 99.9% of spinning reels spin. But again, don't go by that, because it's not going to be correct all the time. If you guys decide to go old school, right, with the Mitchell 300s, these are pretty old reels, but they were very popular reels, and there's a lot of them still out there catching fish to this day. But these old Mitchell 300s, the bail spins the opposite direction of 99.9% of the reels that you're going to have that are out there right now. Now, if you look at this, from your vantage point, this bail is spinning counterclockwise, right? So, you know, that's not really a good rule of thumb no matter what. Here's another old Mitchell, and it's spinning, from your vantage point, again, it's spinning counterclockwise. These are pretty cool old reels. These were excellent reels. They were very popular when they came out, built very well, and like I say, there's still a lot of them roaming around catching fish to this day. These particular ones were given to me by a friend of my dad's. He kind of had them retired. He wasn't using them anymore. He knew that I would kind of appreciate them and use them. So yeah, hey, thanks Steve for the reels and some of the other stuff. Appreciate it. But anyways, as you can see, the whole notion that all you got to do is put the label up, set that down on a table, label up, and it's just automatically going to go on your reel correctly, it can't be true, because the line comes off in different directions depending on the spool, and the other reason is not all spinning reels, the bail doesn't spin the same way. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of address that myth about label up and you're good to go. It's not true for the reasons I showed you. And hey, you know, guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. This is Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless.